Hello everyone, this is Kelly and welcome to the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel and day one of our Spooktacular release. Today I have lots of fall and autumn goodness for you, starting out with some beautiful florals, and this stamp set is called Beautiful Blooms. You can see there is a large bouquet there at the top, and then there are little pieces that you can pop up the insides and add dimensions. You can pop that up. There are extra leaves, so you can add those in as well. And there are lots of great greetings in this set, like do small things with great love, and life is better with you as my friend. I love all of these kind, friendly greetings added into this. Now, there is also a coordinating die set that's going to cut out that large bouquet and then the smaller pieces so you can pop those up to add dimension onto the front. You can also cut out those coordinating greetings and sentiments with the dies that go along with that set. Now there's an awesome 4-piece stencil set that allows you to color in all those images of that stamp set. So it makes it super easy to stamp the flower images and then color those in. Here Irene has made a beautiful card with that stamp. She's heat embossed that and then used some beautiful coloring along with the coordinating dies. Now this is the Fanciful Foil A2 foiling cover plate. And so this is really cool whether you foil this like I have here in some really beautiful shimmery gold foil, or it's really cool to emboss that like a dry emboss right into your cardstock. It gives beautiful results and I'll be showing that in a later video. The next stamp and coordinating die set is called Time Florals. It has this beautiful checked teapot with a lid, has a cup and a saucer, and then lots of beautiful florals that you can build a bouquet right down inside of that cute little teapot. Of course, there's lots of great greetings like, but first tea, take life one cup at a time, and more that you can mix and match. There's the coordinating die set that cuts all out the teapot, the cup and saucer, that cute little tea bag, and all of the sentiments. Now here is a card that I created during one of our live streams where I added lots of pattern paper. I Copic colored the beautiful floral images and then added that sentiment, take life one cup at a time. Now next is a standalone die set, and this is called the Teapot and Cup. Now this is if you like to paper piece or add some little dimensional elements into your card. It's going to impress those embossed lines or those little checks into the teacup, the lid, and the teapot. So I've cut these out of just some scrap paper to give you a look at what those look like up close. Now this is our super cute painted pumpkin stamp set. I love these pumpkins. I have some painted pumpkins in my fall decor this year and I think they're beautiful. So we have 4 painted pumpkins along with lots of small greetings like, hey there pumpkin, grateful, thankful, hi, for you, and friend. There is a coordinating die set that cuts out all 4 of those pumpkins, and I'm going to show you the 4th one here. I had that set aside on my desk, and then it's going to also cut out all of those little sentiments as well. Now here's another card that I created with the painted pumpkin stamp set. You can see where I've Copic colored those, added some pattern paper on there, and then that cute little hey there pumpkin sentiment. Now this is the newest edition of our Inside Sentiments. It is called Comfort, and this is all about sending a get well soon message or condolences or sympathy. Lots and lots of really great greetings in here, like death leaves a heartache no one can heal, love leaves a memory no one can steal, sending all positive vibes, best wishes for a speedy recovery, and so on. There is a coordinating die set that goes along with the Inside Sentiments Comfort set. It's going to cut out every one of those great greetings so you can either stamp those directly onto your card or stamp them and die cut those and add dimension with a little bit of foam tape or foam dots. Now, the next floral stamp set I have to share with you is called Fall Swags. It has two different little autumn swags that contain fall leaves and mums. There's lots of great small greetings in this one, like "You're my favorite person," "Sending a little cheer," "Let's get together," "Thank you so much," and many more. There's a coordinating die set that's going to cut out both swags and all of those great sentiments. Now here's a look at a card that Irene has made. She's used both of those fall swags, embossed those with gold embossing powder, and just done ink blending over the top, and then added one of our new large sentiments. Now this set is called On the Line Fall Florals. As you can see there, it has the little lines that separate all the florals. There are twigs and berries again, some leaves, and some beautiful fall flowers. Lots of great sentiments like thankful, grateful for your friendship, blessed to have you in my life, and more. There's the coordinating die set. Now there are two dies each for both of those little on the line florals, and that is so you can do some fun cuts either just on the top or just on the bottom, and so on. You can cut them both out together and have a whole element that you can pop up on your card. And then there's dies that are going to cut out those greetings as well. I'm going to create a card with this at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around. Now the next cover plate die is called the Ornate A2 cover plate, and this is the top. Here is what that looks like when it is all cut out. I've done some fall kind of burnt orange paper here. You can see the beautiful design there. And then there's also a bottom piece. So this is the Ornate A2 cover plate bottom, and you can see it's going to pierce and then cut some areas. So you can actually pop up those little areas that are cut in the slits, add some dimension there. You can layer those together for a really beautiful look, or you can use these on their own. I'm going to use the bottom piece shown there on the left in the card at the end of the video with that on the line fall florals, and I just love all of those beautiful details that are pressed into the paper there. Here Irene has created a beautiful card with both of those cover plates. You can see she stacked both of those together for that top part, and then just the bottom die for the black banner at the bottom. This beautiful stamp set is called Fall Foliage Frame. Creates a beautiful leafy frame, as you can see there towards the bottom, and then you've got lots of great large sentiments that fit into the opening of the frame, like hello, thinking of you, thank you, and love you. There's lots of great little sub sentiments that you can add as well. Now the coordinating die set is really cool. It's going to cut out the outside of the frame, and then there's a separate die that will cut out the inside of the frame. So there's lots of different options there with how you cut these out. Of course, there's going to be a coordinating die for all of those large sentiments plus the smaller ones. And then there's also the Fall Foliage Sentiment Set, and these are the foil plates. So if you like the look of glimmery, shimmery, hot foil, this is a great addition to add to your fall foliage frame. Now the dies that are included in the coordinating die set are going to cut out the stamped sentiments along with the foiled sentiments. So again, if you just want to stamp that in a different colored ink or whatever, you could stamp and then die cut it. Or if you like to foil and add that shimmer to your cards, you can foil that and then cut that out with the same dies. Now there's also a 4-piece stencil set that goes along with this fall foliage frame, and it's going to color in all those little bits and pieces in that beautiful frame. Now here's a card that I created with the stamp and then the coordinating dies. You can see I have cut out the outside of the frame along with the inside and then added a beautiful foiled sentiment. If you like big, beautiful sentiments, this set called Fall for You will be perfect. There's lots of great large sentiments that will be the highlight of your card, like gratitude changes everything. There are so many beautiful reasons to be happy, In all things, give thanks and begin each day with a grateful heart. There's also a couple of smaller sub sentiments there to the side. There are coordinating dies that are going to cut out all 6 of those sentiments, the large plus the small sub sentiments. Here's some beautiful inspiration from Leanne. She's used that beautiful fall frame, the coordinating dies, and then added those big, beautiful sentiments into the center. The newest addition to our Lovely Layers set is this Lovely Layers Fall Foliage. It has so much great, beautiful detail. You can see all those embossing lines in each of these dies. Some of them are layering pieces like the cattail and the little pod there that goes on the stem. You can see the little lotus pod there to the right. And a perfect addition to go with those fall foliage lovely layers dies is the Rattan Basket. This is also a layering die set. You can see all the great detail in all those pieces of the woven basket. It's perfect to put in any of your lovely layers dies like I have done here with those lovely layers fall foliage dies. You can see all the details in all of these dies. I'm just in love with all those embossing lines and the little bits here and there, and it makes it super easy to cut these out of pattern paper or background paper, or you can create your own backgrounds and make some really beautiful fall die cuts with each of these. So this is the Lovely Layers Fall Foliage and the Rattan Basket. Here's a really close-up look at that card. You can see all those little details in those die cuts, which I am just in love with. Next, I have the Lovely Layers Mum die set. This is so beautiful. Again, you're going to get a layering mum, a large layering mum, and then a smaller bloom. There are leaves and a stem in this set, along with the little centers of the flowers. I'm going to hold this up. You can see all the great detail in this dies with those embossing lines that are going to press right into the paper. Here's another beautiful card from Leanne. Again, she's used that beautiful fall frame along with the Lovely Layers Mum. You can see how gorgeous that card is. Okay, so let's create a card with today's products. I'm going to use the On the Line Fall Florals along with the coordinating dies and the Ornate A2 cover plate bottom portion of that cover plate set. So I am going to set up one of the On the Line Florals in my MISTI on some craft cardstock, and I'm going to do some partial die cutting. I'm only going to remove the top half of that craft cardstock that you see there with one of those really cool dies that you can either cut the top or the bottom. Now I'm going to use our Be Creative Intense Black ink, which is Copic friendly, and I'm using my Be Creative pressure tool to make sure that I get a really good impression with that Copic friendly ink. I always love to set any type of Copic friendly ink, especially if I'm going to start coloring it right away. That way I don't have any bleed when I start coloring. Now I stamp the sentiment separate because I want to heat emboss just this portion of the sentiment. So I have the Thankful for You. I'm using the same intense black ink, and I'm going to cover that with the clear embossing powder, and that's just going to make a nice glossy sentiment that kind of stands out there on the front of the card. I did make sure this time to use my anti-static powder so I don't have any messes or little particles there around my sentiment. Next, I'm just going to color in all these images with my Copic markers. I think it's fun to color with your Copic markers or colored pencils onto craft cardstock. It gives you a little bit of a different look, and it's especially beautiful for fall floral images. So I'm using my YG03. This is a beautiful limey green that I'm going to go in on just a portion of the leaves in this floral image. And I'm just giving that an all over coat of color. And next I'm going to take my YG63 and just add in some darker portions. Now once this ink sets up just a little bit, I am going to take a different colored marker and add to the green leaves, and that kind of turns them a fall color. But I'm just going to work my way around the card and use different greens to make different colors of leaves. So some I did in this kind of limey green. I did the twigs and stems in browns, of course, and these images are pretty small, so there's no need really to do a lot of blending or anything like that. I did add a very light little shadow there with an E37 onto just some portions of the stem. And then now I am testing inks for my little sunflower or my little daisy that is there. Now, I could test right there on the top of my cardstock because like I said before, I'm going to cut that part off. I always like to kind of test my markers to see which color I want to use before I take that directly into the stamped image. And so I did that there at the top. And again, that is going to be cut away when I use the coordinating die. So I'm going in with a few different colors of yellow, adding some darker shades in towards the center of the flower, and then pulling those colors out to lighter colors towards the tips of each of those petals. Next, I'm going in with some more olive green shades to add to and kind of spread out those green colors throughout the image. I started out with a lighter olive green and I'm going in to deepen up right around those veins in the leaf with the YG97. Now I'll add all of the Copic markers that I used in the description box below, so if you're interested in that, make sure you check that out there. Next, I'm going to add some light turquoise, and I know this may sound like a funny color to add with fall flowers, but it's going to be beautiful with the yellows and the oranges and the greens of the leaves. So I used a BG10 to start out, and then I'm going to go in with BG13 just to add a few little flicks and details to deepen up that kind of turquoise look into some of these leaves and stems. I added in a more grassy green into some of the leaves. Again, I'm going in for a variation in greens, everything from a lime green to more olive greens and then into more grass greens. Now I'm taking a yellow marker and adding that right over the greens of the leaves. And this is going to slightly change the color of that ink and make it more fall looking. I love to do this with fall leaves. You can add yellows or oranges to change the look, and you can see there it looks like those leaves are turning colors. Now I'm going to use a couple of different colors of browns into the center of that little sunflower or little mum or coneflower that we have there in the center of that image. I'm just going to dot on some darker browns into those little dots. I'm not worrying about filling everyone in. I'm going to take R24 to start in on these little florals off to the left side. I took the red right around the center, and now I'm going to blend that out with an orangey yellow, and then it's going to start kind of turning a burnt orange color there. Again, that's just a fun way to mix your Copic markers to get some really pretty fall colors. After I'm done with that orangey yellow, I'm going to finish off with a lighter yellow towards the tips of each of those petals. And you can see it goes from a burnt orange toward the center and then yellow out towards the tips. Now, just for a little fun detail, I'm adding a white gel pen. You can leave this part out, but I love the little pop of brightness it gives, especially to the finished card. And you'll see that when I show the close-up version of the card or the close-up picture. Now that I have everything colored and all the little details added, I'm going to take the coordinating die that only cuts off the top of that floral piece. And you can see I've done that there. We have the really cool little partial die cut on the front of our card. And now I'm trying to decide if I want to stack those cover plate die cuts together like that and add the front of my card, or if I just want to use the bottom piece. And in the long run, I decided just to use the bottom piece, and I'm going to cut it out of this kind of mustard, kind of saffron colored cardstock. So I cut down a piece that is the perfect size for my card base, and I'm going to use a little bit of highlighter tape to tape my die into place, and you can see how beautiful that is when it is cut. It almost looks like tooled leather with all the detail. I just love all those embossed lines and the little cut lines that are added into that cover plate. I'm using some of our Be Created liquid adhesive to attach that to my white card base. And then I can add my floral piece right over the top of that. And you can see how that really pretty yellow cardstock pops out underneath. And it especially looks really good with that sunflower image. I'm just going to dot on liquid adhesive and adhere this flat onto that die cut card base, but you could pop that up with foam adhesive or whatever you wanted if you wanted added dimension on that front panel of your card. Now I'm going to finish this off with some copper colored pearls, and this is from our warm pearl adhesive sticker set. And I'm just trying to decide where to adhere all those pretty little copper pearls onto the front of my card. Now here is a close-up look. I love all the details in this, and you can really see how that white gel pen pops off the images, and I am in love with that bottom portion of those ornate cover plate dies. I hope you've enjoyed all the products from day one of our Spooktacular release. Make sure you join us on September the 2nd for our release party coming to you from the Honeybee Stamps warehouse, and I will share more with you tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.